Jamming and jamming, jamming.
Hey, hey,
Welcome,
hey.
welcome, welcome. Good evening, everybody. It is the night before Thanksgiving. It is episode number 61. And we are talking about why leadership built through discipline lasts longer than talent. So, we are going to be touching on 5 key points today: daily habits rather than emotional highs, repetition and responsibility rather than lucky breaks, integrity rather than applause, standards rather than shortcuts, and the bottom line. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. Mr. Yarwood, it's great to see you again. Super excited for tonight's event. We already have one person who's got their eye on us. Woo!
Uh-oh. Pressure's on.
From Yarwood's martial arts too. I'm escaping this
Uh-oh.
one.
Uh-oh. um, we,
Dum
talk,
dum dum.
we talk a lot about leadership because it's kind of like the driving force with everything that we're trying to do, because no matter what we're doing, no matter where we are, who we're hanging out with, whatever it is, it's some capacity we're a leader. People are watching us all the time. They're seeing what we do, right? And for me in particular, I have a school full of students that are watching my every move, everything I'm doing. And a lot of those kids emulate me, or they emulate my instructors. And it's a huge responsibility to make sure that what we're doing is sending the right message to them, right? And we we I take it very seriously, because I know I've seen it in action, where if you do something you're not supposed to do, it 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 cascades through the school, and everybody, hey, Mr. Yarrow was doing this, so I can do it, right? They don't say it, they just do it.
Yeah.
It just happens, right? If I'm goofing around a little bit and then I turn around and other kids are goofing around, that's my fault, right? And it's hard to,
Well, I wouldn't even say it's your fault. I'd relanguage that and say it's your example.
yeah, well, true, right?
Right.
And and the issue becomes, okay, how do I rectify it, right? Because it's hard to say stop doing that, because they're to say, well, you were doing it. Well, okay, now what? So now, instead of me getting after them about something, I have to change what I'm doing, right? I have to change my example of leadership to what it is I want them to do, right? So it becomes a very powerful tool to be able to say, hey, all right, I know that they're watching me. I know I'm a leader. What am I going to do that's going to send the message to them to tell them what I want them to do, right? Words words have only this much power, right? They wear off. Example is way more powerful, because it's they're seeing you, they're watching you, observing you from afar, from close up. They're listening to you. They're all these things, how you interact with other people, and they're taking that as examples, right? And it's very important. And we talk about, the discipline part of it. It's important that I recognize what I'm doing and how it affects those around me, right? And I have to be disciplined in how I do things, not only while I'm teaching, but while I'm interacting with them after class, while I'm interacting with them before class, if I run into them outside of the dojo, if we have an event where a tournament or a camp or whatever it is, I always have to be that person, right? And it's not perfection, right? I'm not talking about I have to be perfect on my game 100% of the time, but I have to recognize that I am being paid attention to. I'm being, for lack of a better term, scrutinized, right? So I have to be on top of my game all the time, which takes discipline, because it's not always easy to be there, right? You can be on top of your game 90% of the time, but that other 10%, that seems to be the most powerful part, They're all, I saw you do that. I saw you goof around. I saw you, right? So it's a challenge. And that takes discipline, because it doesn't come necessarily naturally to be vigilant about everything that you do, because we're not perfect.
No, I think the thing though that I see is looking at what it takes to build consistency. Like, what does that look like? And how do we stay consistent? How do we my greatest example of this, since I'm currently not training and will be soon again, is I wake up every single morning at 6:30, or before 6:30, and at 6:30 I start a show on social media on an app called Clubhouse, and we do morning possibility with a cup of Bible, and I've been doing it for 4 years, every day. I took one day off, and in however many days that is, 1,300 days or something like that, and I look at, I didn't even consider myself a leader. I just considered myself the person that started it. And now I've got a bunch of leaders around me that are doing other classes, and they're in there with me at 6:30 in the morning, or 7:15. One of them shows up every morning. And the excitement definitely is not there some days.
Yep.
Some days I wake up and I go, God, can I sleep in? And the only person answering is me.
Yep.
Right. And, I think about it. And there are times when I've gone, nobody's even going to know.
One person will know.
Yeah. And, by the way, I have overslept a few times, probably a handful, not more than a handful. And there's one person that is, no pun intended, religious at calling me because everybody else calls her because she's known as my right hand. And the next thing you know, my phone is blowing up because she'll ring until it stops ringing, dial, and ring again. And somehow, even if it's on mute, somehow it wakes me up.
It's like this internal clock. Oh, somebody's trying to reach out to me.
Oh, it really is funny, because I've looked and gone, how did I even know it was ringing?
Yeah.
Because it's on mute. And the stability, though, that has been created there, it doesn't matter what mood I'm in.
Yep.
Right? I can be in a great mood. I can be in a sad mood. I can be in a sleep mood. And I get going.
Yep.
I will say that it probably has me choose different music. My mood does. And I think then that sets me into that space of a different mood. But the repetition and the responsibility have caused the miracle. And, some people go, well, you're really lucky that you have the ability to do that. And that that's, you're inspired by that. And I look, somebody said that one day, and I said, really? You think that's luck?
Yeah, for sure.
That amount of responsibility does not occur as luck.
Yep. My college football coach always used to say, because people say, "Oh, you guys got lucky in that game." He says, "No, we prepared to be lucky." Right? You put yourself in a position that when luck happens, you are there when it is. Right? It's not something that just happens randomly, right? You're prepared for it. You might not know what it's going to be, right? But you're there when it happens. That means you were prepared for it. So lucky is, lucky is, I don't know. It's what I think it's what people say who aren't preparing for things. They're the ones who aren't doing the work, right? They don't have the attitude that it takes to be disciplined, to be there when luck happens, right? So it's sure, random things happen to random people, but in general, lucky people, if you think somebody's lucky all the time, it's more that they were prepared for when something like that happened.
Wait until you see this. I'm gonna cut and paste this because I just thought I would I would look this up. Let's see if I can put it in here. Let's see. Is it too long? Nope. So it says, the question is what is luck? And it's an exclamation of surprise, often used to express good fortune or a fortunate accident. More broadly, luck is defined as a phenomenon that happens to a person beyond their control, whether it's a positive event like winning the lottery or negative concept, one like an accident. The concept can also be broken down into different types of luck, right? Such as blind luck, which is pure chance, luck from motion, create opportunities through action. And that's what we're talking about right here. Luck from awareness, spotting opportunities through expertise, and luck from uniqueness, attracting opportunities through personal qualities. So you can see 3 of those definitions are exactly what you just said.
Yep. It's true. I mean, you call it luck, you call it fortune, whatever you want to call it, but it's preparing yourself for when something comes up. Being in the right place because you did the work to be there. You put yourself in a position when good fortune appears, you're ready to act on it. And it's you think about it in terms of, like you said, people play the lottery and they get lucky and win. That's not even luck. That's just random chance. There's no luck involved in that, right? Even lucky people don't win the lottery all the time. Being lucky would win it like 3 times in a row. That's different.
Right.
Right. But when we think let's talk about when we played football, right? You're playing football and you're on the defense and the offense is going down the field to score on you, and the running back comes around in, and you're in position to tackle him, and you hit him, and the ball gets knocked out, and your team recovers the fumble. Well, people say, well, that was lucky. Well, what do you mean? We had our players in the right position for when something happened like that, a ball appears in front of them, they recover it. Sure, it might have been lucky that the guy dropped the ball, but we prepared for it. We prepared for an instance where something like that might happen, and we're ready to take action on it, right? So the instance itself might be, a chance thing, the ball comes out, but luck had nothing to do with the fact that our guys were there ready to recover that football. Right?
Because in practice, they're practicing, what if the ball comes loose?
Yep.
Who's going to go for it?
Preparing to be lucky.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's why I think, it's even funny when somebody, says, oh, I'd love to win the Powerball, right? And then you go, oh, do you buy a ticket every week? No. And you look and go, well, I can tell you the one way that you might actually put yourself on
the single way for you to be lucky, you're not doing it.
And I always laugh at that, right? It's like, I'd love to win the Powerball. Okay, well, are you spending $1 a day?
Yeah.
$1?
or there's people who see other people who are fortunate, who are wealthy because of everything that they did, right? They put themselves in a position, maybe they got real estate wealth or whatever, and that person's like, oh, they're just lucky. They're always getting good things happen to them. I'm never lucky. Well, okay, let's compare. What work are you doing to put yourself in a position where you can, come across an opportunity where you can make money, right? That person is out there doing the work, putting themselves in position so when things happen, they're ready for it, right? Some good deal comes across the table and they're prepared and ready for it to take advantage of it. If you're not putting in the work, if you're not doing the time, if you don't have the discipline, you're not going to be quote unquote lucky. It just isn't going to happen because you're not putting yourself out there. You're not doing the work that it takes to be lucky, right? And doing the work and all that obviously doesn't guarantee, but I guarantee you this, if you don't do it, it won't happen.
Yeah. Zig Ziglar viewed luck as something created by hard work, preparation, and consistency, not a force that works for the passive.
Yep.
He believed that luck is what happens when hard work and preparation meet opportunity, and that success is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Therefore, instead of waiting for luck, one should focus on consistent effort to create opportunities for success.
Yep.
Hard work is the only thing that overcomes hard luck.
We all have negative things happen to us, right? That's life. But when you allow that to be the way things are and then you blame it on luck, bad luck, oh, I'm just unlucky. Well, what are you doing to not be unlucky? How are you getting yourself out of those positions? What are you doing to make things better? Or are you just constantly negative and saying, well, bad things always happen to me. That's just how it is. All right. Well, that becomes a karma thing, I think, right? What you put out into the world is what you get back.
Yep.
So you start talking about how unlucky you are, how things never happen for you and you don't do the work. Well, then that's what you're going to get.
Yeah, like this. Luck rarely shows up for those who stay still.
Yep.
That's precisely my point. If you want to be lucky and win the Powerball, you have to buy a ticket.
Can't win if you don't enter.
And there are people out there that get mad at people that are successful.
Yep.
Right.
For sure.
And they get mad. Well, you were privileged. You had it all laid out before you.
Yep.
And it's like, well, actually, I wasn't privileged. I listened to a senator the other day, and he was being berated by another senator, and said, "You came from privilege," and he said, "Well, actually, I didn't. My dad died when I was 12, and my mother raised me and my two brothers alone." It clearly wasn't privilege.
Yep.
The only thing I was privileged is to have a mom that loved me and cared enough to work hard.
Yep. And created opportunities for me, which I took advantage of.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the whole thing too. Like we move on to the next one, integrity rather than applause. You're doing the work, right? Whether people are watching you or not, right? You're not doing it so other people see you do it. So you can get, oh yeah, you're doing such a great job. No, you're doing it because you know the outcomes that it can create for you. If you get applause, that's great, right? But that's not what it's about.
Right.
I'm not being a leader to have everybody say I'm a great leader. I'm being a leader because I know what I do affects the other people around me who are watching me and paying attention to me. And if I'm not doing the right things, I'm not going to get their applause. So I got to be doing it all the time, being consistent with it, because when you be consistent with it, it becomes a habit. And when it becomes a habit, you continually do it. Regardless of how you feel about it, regardless of anything, you just continue to do it because it became a habit for you. And our grandmaster, he says, practice. Everybody says practice makes perfect. He says practice makes habit. And when you practice something over and over and over again, the right way or the wrong way, it becomes a habit, right? Yeah. And if you practice it the wrong way, then you have a bad habit, right? So if you're practicing leadership by looking for other people to adorn you with applause and praise, you're doing it the wrong way. If you do it internally first and work on you and doing all the things the right way with integrity, it starts to come out. You can't hide it anymore because you're just doing what you're supposed to do, right? Everybody around you starts to see it. Just like if you do it without integrity, they start to see it. They recognize it.
I think you epitomize this, because a lot of times you'll say things to us, like, you guys, there is no such thing as perfect practice, right? There's, perfection doesn't exist. It's, practice doesn't make perfect.
Nope.
There is practice makes you either good or bad at something, and then correction sets you on the right path.
Yep.
And I think that's where, it's one of the things that, for me as a business coach, there are times, when I look and tell people, look, I'm one of these people. I make mistakes all the time.
Yep.
It's not if, it's when. And the question is, what do I do with those mistakes?
Yep.
How do I course correct with such action that my integrity is restored?
Yep. Yeah, that's a big thing, how you respond to things that you do wrong. Like I was talking about before, if I'm doing something in the class and I know I'm probably not sending the right leadership message, what do I do? Do I turn on the kids and say, "Hey, you can't be doing that," or do I fix what I'm doing? Because if I fix what I'm doing, they see that I'm doing that and they do it too. But if I turn on them, say, "Hey, you can't do that," they can look right back at me and say, "Hey, well, you were doing it, so I can do it." And what argument do I have? I have nothing, because I'm the one doing the thing, right? And if they call me on it, I have to. It's true, right? So instead of me getting after them for doing things they're not supposed to do, I need to fix what I'm doing so they can see how they're supposed to do it, so that they follow my lead, because I'm the one leading, right? And if I'm leading them the wrong direction, that's on me. I can't get mad at them for doing something that they're doing if I'm the one that's showing them how to do it.
And I think, by the way, I think this is one of the things that is sometimes difficult for leaders to really understand. This is the part that requires skill.
Yep. Being a leader. You hear the term born leader. There is no such thing. There are people who have leadership qualities, but they're not necessarily a born leader. There's still leadership is like any other thing that has that can decay. Like when you train, right? You get stronger. If you stop training, you get weaker, right? If you're in the military and you're an infantryman and your job is to use your rifle, right? And the only time you use it is in boot camp when they do your qualifications, and then you never do anything with it again. Are you still a good rifleman? Nope. Your skills are gone, right? Same thing with a leader. If you're not practicing leadership, you're not getting better. You're getting worse. You might think you're a good leader, but you got to look at results. What are the people around you doing? How are the people you're leading acting? Are they successful or are they not? And if they're not successful, it's because you led them wrong, because you didn't practice your leadership.
And they had an expectation, right? They had an expectation, since you were in that place.
Yep.
You can't take shortcuts.
Nope.
You can't in the, for lack of a better way of saying it, take the short road. You have to go the distance, and going the distance is what produces the results.
Yep.
Consistent with going the distance. Without that foundation, you ain't going to get there.
Yep. One thing I talk to my students about all the time is setting, it's right here, setting standards. These are the things that are required of us as a leader. This is the bare minimum that we have to do. Anything below that, we're missing. So we set a standard that these are the things, these are the qualities, the requirements, the things we have to do as leaders. We have to live up to these standards because it's important, because we have people watching us. We have people emulating us, looking up to us, listening to us, learning from us. And if we don't set our own personal standards high, we can't expect that out of them. It's just the way it is, right? I can't say one thing and do another. Like the old adage, do as I say, not as I do. Right? That's like a mom and dad thing. Do as I say, not as I do. Well, doesn't work that way. You can say it all you want, but I'm going to do what you do and not what you say, because I don't listen. I watch. I observe. That's how people, most people learn that way, by seeing and doing versus listening. They might kind of grasp some concept thing, but unless they actually do it, they really don't, it's not there. They're not getting it.
Yeah. And and the last one here, the bottom line: a disciplined leader can perform under pressure, on tough days, and without recognition. Because we all know there are people that like to be stroked, and without stroking, they don't do a good job.
Yep. They want to hear how good they are.
Yep. Talent might win a match, but discipline builds a legacy. So yeah, you might have the talent to win a match one day, but is that going to drive you the consistency day in and day out of showing up, producing the results for students to be able to see?
Yep. And in the martial arts world, if you want to see how good of an instructor the school is, or the instructor is at a school, look at the students. If you want to see how good your leadership is, look at the students. How do they act? Are they disciplined in class, or do they goof around all the time during class? Are they paying attention? Are they listening? Are they performing? Are they living up to, good standards, or are they sloppy? That's leadership. It's not the students, because the students are learning from the instructor. And if that's what the instructor's teaching them, then that's what they're learning.
Yeah.
And then, how good are the parents? What do the kids do while they're there? Are they doing what they're supposed to do? Or are they goofing around, getting in trouble? Are the parents doing anything about it? Are they leaving it up to the instructor because, it's babysitting class and not karate class?
Dude.
You know what I mean? Thankfully we don't have. That's a standard that the leaders set in our classes too. It's not just the students that we're working with. We're working with parents. We have to set standards for them too, and what expectations we have of them. Right? And we have awesome parents. Our parents they're members of our team. Whether they're on the mats or sitting in the chairs, they're still members of our team, and we treat them that way because they're part of what's going on. And if you don't believe that, then your school's gonna die, because we're all there. We lead them just as much as we lead their kids. They might not even realize it, but they respond to things that we're doing. You can see it because we send home those cards with those kids, the parent cards, the teacher cards. Those parents use those tools, right? We created those tools for them. That's leadership. And they take those tools and they use them at home, which means our leadership is spreading into their home, into their school.
and that's, I was just going to say, to see it go into the school is the fun thing.
Yep.
Right. Because
Since we changed our approach to how we do our thing, I'm gonna hold on a second. I got something.
yeah, it's one of those things that the whole thing about, what are we creating and what are we causing to rise up in others at school, at home,
Yep.
in your faith, so therefore in your church, whatever it is. Here you
So
go. Teachers right. There you
these
go.
are our parent teach our teacher cards, right? Our kids get one of these and they take it to their teacher, and their teacher evaluates how they're doing in school. All the stuff right there, right? We used to have a sheet that had both the parent and the teacher and all that all combined, and we would get limited response from the teachers about having us come in and do events for them, like we go and do seminars and whatnot with the kids in their classroom. We get, out of maybe 50 kids, we get 3 or 4, right? This is how many we got now. Every single one of these is a teacher inviting us into their classroom. This is the effect that it's starting to have right now and what we're doing with our students. There's 35 or 40 right here. So my son and I are working on getting these things set up so we can go visit all these kids in their school, because these teachers they want us in there. They want us doing this stuff because they see the power of what it is that we're doing, and they want to be part of it.
Well, and they're seeing that it makes their job easier.
Yeah.
And they see results because
they're a partner in this thing too, because they deal with those kids more than we do.
Teachers don't teach to get rich.
Oh, if they did, we wouldn't have any teachers.
Yeah. So to see what's happening and how it's happening, to see what they're experiencing, that says, oh my gosh, I want you to come into the classroom because I've seen how my kid, one of your kids has changed everybody.
Mm-hmm. That's leadership, right? We teach them by doing what we're supposed to do, being examples to them. They take that into their school, and now they're a leader within their classroom. They're doing all these things that they're learning, right? That they're seeing us do. That has a ripple effect. That can affect an entire classroom. And if you have, 40 kids going into their classrooms, even 20 kids in each classroom, how many kids are you affecting without even having to be present? Just by what we're teaching them at our school. That's impact that's worth its weight in gold.
Yeah.
Right. And I can take some credit for it, but ultimately it becomes, I do what I do. The kids take that, they do what they do. Right. They're bringing that into their home. Maybe they're a big brother, right? Teaching their little siblings how they're supposed to act at home. They're supposed to put away their toys and, put away their clothes and put the dishes away. All those little things that they're learning how to do that mom and dad are appreciating. Then they take it to school, and they're the kid that sits at the front of the class, and they're listening. And if other kids are doing things they're not supposed to do, they're, hey, we need to be listening. We're trying to learn, right? Or they're helping a friend who's being bullied, right? They're stepping in and say, hey, you can't treat that kid like that, right? He's stepping in and helping a kid who's in trouble. There's so many different aspects of this that you can't. There's no way to quantify it, because it becomes this effect that we have on the kids, and then they in turn have effect on their friends and their families. And it's incredible to see it.
And as you see this stuff, not only does it show up in the schoolyard, all of that, but you're starting to see the ripple of that into the family, and see what I call the ripple of integrity, and what it can cause and create.
Yep.
from the mouths of babes, right?
Yep. And this, we have a card like this that is for the parents too, right? It's helping the parents to be part of what we're doing. They have these tools that they can use, so they're like, okay, now they're the leader of their family, right? That's what parents are. They're the leader of the family. Now they have these things that they can use with their kids and say, hey, these are the things that we've been working on. These are the things that we need to keep practicing. These are the things we need to get better at. Parents are becoming more interactive with that too, making them better leaders.
Yeah.
Right. It's affects so many things about what we're doing. It's incredible. I love it.
So as you can see, and as you've heard now the last 2 weeks, discipline really causes a beautiful foundation for leadership to rise up in.
Yep, for sure.
Well, thank you again, Mr. Yarwood. We're at 36 minutes, so we're about 6 minutes over. But thank you to everybody that's been listening. We got 5 people.
My students get after me about my going over time. It's one of the things I'm working on. It's our 10th life skill, punctuality.
It is, and yet there's this moment of joy that comes from doing something you love and you like.
Yep.
And it's easy to just keep going.
Yep.
It's one of the things for me as a business coach. I don't ever like to short my clients.
Yep.
I know that there's a lot of coaches that exist in these environments that are very rigid, and they cause it, right? They start at 12 o'clock and they end at 12:59 and 59 seconds.
Yep.
Now, I applaud that. And for me, I'm not going to leave a client in the middle of a conversation.
Nope.
So for me, integrity looks like I have a hole after every client. That if need be, I can speak into that hole.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, sir. Well, and this is to everybody. Have a great Thanksgiving. Thanks for listening in. Be sure to thank the people in your family. Thank the people, the neighbors. Just be mindful of anybody that is doing a job where they're providing a service for you, which is pretty much every job.
Yep.
And thank them. And enjoy yourself tomorrow.
Bye.